Mike, it seems like Sean Lewis is a guy who could be kind of an X factor on defense, a guy who just simply makes plays when he gets out there. Is there any thought to try to just find a way to get him on the field?
Well, Sean's on special teams. He plays quite a bit for us, and he had it was either 23 or 32 plays, I'm not for sure, on defense. He is starting to develop and mature some and get out of being a true freshman, which we're going into game 8 now. So kind of our word to them is, you guys are no longer true freshmen. You played in 8 games. It's time to grow up. I don't know if they're buying that or not, but Sean has maintained a certain level of intensity in practice and has not shown has not flinched or shown any fear of playing in big games to this point, or league play, for lack of a better term. And so we anticipate him playing more, and gives us a chance to get JT off the field some. Instead of JT being out there for 65 plays, and he can play 40 and Sean can play 40 if it works out the way that we anticipated. But he's a guy that's playing better.
Mike, besides Sean, you're playing a lot of freshmen, whether it's on special units or scattered in like Randall on offense and so forth. You've always been an observer of how far these guys go before, oops, this is more football than I've ever played in my life. How are they handling the depth of this?
Overall, they're doing okay. If I was to tell you that they're not getting a little fatigued, and I would be, not really shooting you straight. There's some fatigue involved with these young guys right now. And you can break college football down into 4 months. You have August, September, October, and November. Okay? You play in a bowl game, you get 3 weeks off, 4 weeks off, whatever bowl game you play in. So essentially, it's a grind for 4 months. Well, we're in August, September, at the end of the 3rd month. And you have a really 4 to 5 weeks left that everybody in the country is going through the same situation. That would be my guess. I've coached at several different schools and worked for several different guys, and most teams at this point are somewhat fatigued. They're sore. Guys are beat up. Class is bearing down on them, and it becomes a grind. That's the grind of college football. Coaches are tired. They've come in early. All those things. And so now it's important that the guys that start to go the other way have to buy into the program and fight through the remainder part of the season. You got to be smart in how you prepare them. You got to get them out there on Saturday, and you want them to be healthy and fresh.
Coach, Coach, I know a loss is a loss, but when you look at this game against Nebraska, Justin Blackman had some success against one of the best defensive backs in the nation. The offense put up 41 points. The defense shut down one of the best running games in the conference. Just talk a little bit about how those positives can help you into the Kansas State game.
Well, when you look at the game, they won on special teams. Even though we had good returns, you look at 3 phases. On special teams, we had good returns. We had a couple returns out to the 40 or by the 40, and we did okay there. But they had the big one that kind of flipped momentum and broke our back after we had scored. Okay, so and the punt, Quinn was excellent. Their punter was pretty good, and so the rest of it was kind of a wash. Both field goal kickers played good. Okay, but they win because of the big one. Offensively, we feel like that we were pretty good in that game. We would have liked to not had the 3 and outs we had. We'd like to maintain some more momentum and keep the defense off the field, but they get a chance to make plays, and their coaches get a chance to call plays also. They're going to make some plays because they've been pretty good. I haven't really followed the statistics close, but I don't know that anybody's scored more than, 22, 23 points on them in how many games? Y'all probably know better than I do. All the way back through last season, right? So offensively, we played efficient. We'd always like to play better and not turn the football over. We would like to have punched one of those red zone opportunities in for a touchdown instead of a field goal, like we talked about in here last week. But defensively, I think Coach Young would tell you, and our defensive players would tell you, that we didn't play as well as we wanted to because we missed too many tackles. We had too many opportunities to tackle them in the backfield for negative plays. That's a fact, and that's what happened. We win as an organization, and we lose as an organization. That's coaches, players, that's everybody involved. But the game's broken down for corrections, all right, so we can get better for next week. So to answer your question, Blackman played pretty well. Kendall Hunter made some plays. The offensive line played pretty well. Whedon played pretty well. We missed too many tackles on defense, but there were some guys on defense that also made some plays. We made a couple mistakes, gave up a couple big throws. Those things change games. So overall, as a team, they made more big plays than we did, and then they were more physical than we were. They hit harder in the game than we did. That's why they won the game.
So you don't see your defense as being at a crossroads we could revert to '07 form or return to what they were last year? I mean, you just think it was a bad Saturday?
Well, I think that each week that you play in our league right now with these offenses, that you're vulnerable. We've talked about this for 3 years in here now. I mean, we can say what we want, and the perception across the country, whatever it may be, but there's people in this team that can score, in this league, that can score points. There's skill guys in this league that can make plays with the ball. And so defense in this league, in my opinion, is more difficult than it ever has been. And we're in there with everybody else, in my opinion. Guys better be ready to play, better stop and eliminate the big plays, giving up the big plays, and then you have to tackle. And I think that's really important.
Mike, is it tough to practice as physical as you would like to when depth is an issue because of
It is, and but what I think everybody should know is we're not the only guys in the country that have depth problems. You know, so that's never going to be an excuse around here. I'd like to have 5 defensive tackles where I'm too deep and I can rotate that third guy in case somebody gets hurt. Then we'll go 30 minutes every day and we'll bang heads until we're really tired, so we can become a really physical team, because being a physical football team is very important. For example, our offensive style we're playing right now. People wouldn't consider us a physical football team offensively because of our attack. Well, our offensive linemen can be just as physical in our run blocking as a team that plays with a tight end and fullback. And then when we pass block, we can be physical pass blockers. We don't have to be soft and give. We can sink our hips, and we can punch and be physical in pass blocking. So I don't believe in that from a system standpoint, but what I do believe in is practicing the right way. But it's also important for us as a coach or coaches to know that on Saturday we got to have our best guys out there, and they have to be fresh. But from Tuesday through Thursday, we got to do everything we can to make sure they're practiced enough and they're physical enough to, 1, stop the run, and 2, be able to run the football effectively. So there is a really fine line, and it's everywhere in the country. I mean, there may be I don't know. I don't watch enough football. There may be 10 schools across the country that don't have that issue, that they've got enough depth and they're far enough along they don't have that. But I'm going to bet you there's probably 107 other schools that do have that problem.
Is it easier for you now, though, than your first couple of years here?
Sure is. Sure is, John. We're further along. And the truth is that we're getting good play from our young players. Are we getting conference elite level play from those freshmen right now? Probably not. But we're getting good play for the guys that are playing right now that are young. And so I'm not going to sit there and beat them up and grind it out of them in practice when we as a coaching staff have to understand that this is what Sean Lewis can give us. It's not going to be what he's going to give us 2 years from now, but this is what he can give us. This is what Justin Gilbert can give us. And just go right on down the line. So is he giving us effort? Is he working during the week? Is he paying the price? Okay, this is what his realistic production level should be. And then it's going to be a lot different a couple of years from now. From Ori Lemon, 3 years ago, Ori Lemon didn't make very many plays at all. He's just a guy running around out there, missed a bunch of tackles. Well, now he makes a lot of plays. And he missed 3 tackles Saturday, but he makes a lot of plays now. So that level of those guys will intensify as their careers go on. It's just right now there's a bunch of them out there at once.
With having so many young guys, though, do you kind of expect more of a hangover for them? For a lot of them, like their first college loss?
Very well could be. But hangover is the word that was used in the team meeting last night. And hangovers can't happen. And we try to instill that in them mentally so they can understand what they have to give us physically during the week. Because hangovers are not good. We're not good enough to just make it through practice this week and go play well on Saturday. We're not far enough along to do that.